Are we live?
We are.
We're live. Hi guys, happy Tuesday evening. You've got Miss Paulette over there and me, Becs, tonight for our awesome wine live that we are going to be doing. I'm excited about these topics and falling off track and talking about everything because it's going to be juicy stuff that I think is super funny because a lot of us think that we're the only ones that do these things. And Paulette and I have realized just by talking to each other and a few of our friends that these are some seriously big things that we all do and beat ourselves up for that just does not need to be out there.
Exactly.
Right? But first, I need to pour my glass of wine because my mother is visiting me right now. And when she first got here, the two of us went to the liquor store together. And we're like, what are we going to drink this week while she's visiting? Actually, it's 2 weeks. And we looked at each other and we walked straight to the boxed wine. So this is what we did. She drinks white like Paulette.
Cheers to boxed wine, first of all.
This is my box of wine.
I love it.
Cheers. Cheers. Let me pour my glass. I actually don't have a glass yet. Cheers. Sounds like I'm peeing, but I'm not. It's just
and let's get a like for all those who are the box wine fan.
Yeah, seriously.
When I went to my reunion this summer, that's what I did. Is I bought myself a box of Pinot Grigio, just because I knew it was gonna get. I didn't know if I was gonna have to share, so I thought, hell, why not buy a box? Be on the safe side, right?
Exactly. Why not? Really? Like, you just put the whole box in the fridge if it's white. You've got 3 liters, nice and chill. It's beautiful.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers to box wine. But yes, my mother and I have been having a glass of wine every night. I haven't watched TV in months. I do not have cable, and she has got me hooked, absolutely hooked, on a Netflix show called Outlander. It is very juicy, it is very naughty, and it is wonderful. There's some fabulous looking men in there, and yeah, we just, every night, we just finish dinner, my son goes to bed, we grab a glass of wine, we snuggle on the couch with the doggies, and we get to watch a show. It is so awesome.
I love it.
Yes. So, what we were talking about tonight. First of all, how was your day, Paulette? How was your day today?
Oh, I had a day. I had a good day, actually. It just felt like it was really busy. I had a lot going on today, but it was good. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I haven't gone outside today. Don't judge me. And I jumped in the shower at like 4 o'clock.
You've one upped me so far.
On the shower?
The shower part.
Cheers to showers.
Lucky you. Anyways, tell me.
That's mom life, right?
Seriously, it's mom life.
We got some viewers on here.
What is up, guys?
Alex is here. She says she loves Outlander too. Awesome.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, and Jessica West, love you, girl. I think she should. Whatever.
You think she should win?
I feel like she should cheerlead with me in the cheerleading thing.
I think that, I'm sure Mickey and I will touch base on this, but I'm thinking competition time comes around. There might be a trip that has to happen for us to support our girl. What do you think there, Miss Mickey? I just came up with this idea. But we can be like the cheer girls in the stand cheering on the cheer moms. Like,
road trip.
Much fun. Anyways.
Okay, we're getting off topic. We need to get on topic here.
Way off topic. Totally. Okay. We wanted to talk about the something that we all as moms and maybe even just wives, if we don't have children and we are married or have a partner you live with, the time that we all think about, we want it so bad, and it's all we think about, especially in the crazy days, is alone time. Am I right? Who loves alone time, wants it, needs it?
Give us some likes and loves if you're all about the alone time.
Right? Sometimes we just get to that point where we are so stressed out, or we just feel completely overwhelmed, or we're feeling emotional. We've had enough of our kids. We've had enough of seeing people. We don't even have conversations, and you just need that alone time, right?
Mm.
So why do we always feel guilty when we get it?
So annoying. Because honestly, it's one of those things that we crave and that we want so bad. And then the minute that we get it, we're always worried. It's because we're always worried about everybody else first, right? Like then we feel guilty because, oh, well, we could be spending time with our families, or are they going to think that I don't want to be around them anymore? When that's not the case. Sometimes you just need some like balance, right? You just need time to like ground yourself. And yeah, that's important. Super important.
100%. 100%. Like, it's like I go and play baseball or something, and I hadn't been doing this on my own because it used to be something that Kent and I did together. And then I started going by myself because he wasn't going, and someone had to stay home with our son. And I felt incredibly guilty, even though baseball was something that I wanted to do, right? And it was very much like I would go there, I'd feel guilty the whole time I was there. I'd be constantly thinking, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on one bedtime. Like, what is my son going to think of me? Why am I missing this quality time? But really, it's about rejuvenating ourselves so that we have the energy to put back in to our kids and our family.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
the same thing, or we feel bad because we want to be hanging out with them. That's always me. Totally.
Yeah, 100%.
So in my family, we've had this tradition for a while now where my husband, every Wednesday, he has boys' night. And it's kind of like an unwritten rule that when we have, so on Wednesday nights, I know that the anything to do with the kids or anything else is totally, that's my deal. So if I have something that comes up on a Wednesday, then it's my problem to try to find somebody to watch the kids or whatever. And I used to do the same thing with my girlfriends. It used to be Thursday nights for me. So we would watch Grays. We would watch Grays and drink wine, and whatever was going on, it was Jerry's deal. Like if something came up for him and he wanted to do something on Thursday nights, that was his problem. Like if he couldn't make it work out, then he was staying home with the kids, and that was my night to do what I wanted. And that was really super helpful and important for the both of us, right? Because everybody needs that, guys and girls. You know what I mean? It's very, um, what's the word I'm looking for? It's important.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need your me time, right? And being with the girls and being with just your husband by yourself, like that's different. It's a different dynamic. And it's like before kids, right? Like before we all had kids, and some of us, haven't had kids yet, and that's cool too. But you take that time for granted. Because
Mm-hmm.
Jerry and I, we used to go for drinks every weekend. Like we would be gone for karaoke. Jerry loves to karaoke, so we would go for karaoke and have a few drinks. Well, that's not our life anymore because we have kids,
Yeah,
and we don't want to be ditching them all the time. Like once in a while, it's cool, but you know what I mean. And
absolutely.
you just be with your girls, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
But
totally.
yes, Jessica says it's therapeutic. Absolutely. Totally therapeutic.
100%.
Sometimes you just, so yeah.
I think that, like, what you said, this blew my mind when we had this conversation the other day about how the Wednesday night, it's your deal on finding care. And on the Thursdays, it was his deal on finding care if something else came up. Because I think that's huge. Because I think a lot of us, and I know I've even done it, where something else comes up, maybe like I know things have come up for Kent, and I've had something going on, and vice versa. But I'm always trying to find care, or I just don't go,
Yeah.
right? So that he can do his thing. But it's like no, like if you actually schedule that time, like every week for the whole year, everybody knows it's a no go on Wednesdays. Or you got to find someone yourself, and then it's just like a mutual understanding. I think that's so awesome.
Or even
I
if it's
think,
not once, even if it's like once a month or something that you have designated to just like, okay, this is going to be my time. I'm going to do whatever I want with it.
yeah,
And what it's going to be.
yeah, like
It's important.
every third Saturday of the month or whatever. But
Balance.
then, and I think it takes away too, like those those grudges that we hold if like say your partner is always the one getting to go out on the Friday night or the whatever is the fun night or something's happening, you get away from those grudges of like sitting at home being like, oh, I'm the only one that stays here. You get these like built up little grudges when really it's a super minor thing, but you just have to get that communication opened up. And even just like if that is how you feel, like you are like hating on your hubby or whatever, your partner, whatever it is, and you're just like, man, they're always the one having the fun and I don't get to do anything. You got to have a conversation about it. And the hardest part and the hardest thing to absolutely do is start that conversation. Because
Yeah.
once it gets rolling, you can't be yelling, you can't be mad. You just got to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And if it's like if it's just very neutral and you're just like, I'm feeling a little bit like I'm being taken for granted or I'm not being appreciated or whatever it is, once you get that conversation started, seriously, you guys, it gets easy. But the hardest part is starting that conversation because you've let it build for so long from all these little teeny tiny things. And then it's
Yeah.
just like your head feels like steam is coming out of your ears. It's just like, ah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just starting that convo.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
So this is something that happened to me last weekend. Okay. So Friday night, my husband, I had made supper, and the kids and it was no school Friday, so I had the kids all day, and they were at each other's throats by the 5 o'clock came around, and I called my husband to say like, "Hey, when you coming home? Like supper was ready," and he's like, "What would you say if I said I was at the bar and I was having a couple drinks with the boys, and I wasn't maybe coming home right away?" And instantly, I got like super annoyed and like then I was doing the like, whatever, sure, I guess.
No eye contact.
While he
Yes, you
was on the
can't.
phone.
You're on the phone. Sorry.
But then, and it was so funny because I was totally in my head about it the whole time because I knew that it was something that he needed, right? Because like we don't go out as often as we used to, like I was saying. And sometimes you just need to go out with your buddies and have a good time. When we were younger, before kids, we used to have this thing with my girlfriends. We used to call it One Drink Fridays. So we would all kind of go, we would all meet for a drink after work, and we would always say, we're just going to go for one. But then those One Drink Fridays turn into like a magical night of ridiculousness that was so fun. And so we just nicknamed them One Drink Fridays. But those were the best nights ever. And so this is like, the, that's kind of what I thought, like that's what it's going to turn into, which automatically I had like a negative thing about it, but why? Like why would I want to like take away that fun from him, right? Or that time that he needed. But I was so wrapped up in my own feelings about it. But then I stopped and I was like, okay. And I called my girlfriend Mickey. You need to talk me down from this. And she's like, let's think about this for a minute. And sure enough, all the words she said, I totally agree with her. I'm like, yeah, I'm being super selfish right now. Like, I'm being so selfish because if it was me, I would, I would be really disappointed if he tried to guilt me out of going
Mhm.
or out of staying out late or whatever. And really, what's the big deal?
Mhm.
It's just one night. And I know what would have happened if I would have kept going like I normally, like in the past, would have. He would have come home. I would have been pissed. I would have been doing the super passive aggressive thing, like, yeah, whatever. Not giving eye contact or just like, so he knows that. What is the point? It was just going to turn into like a giant fight. And for what? All because I'm super selfish and I wanted to, like, for him not to have his time. Like,
Yeah.
but it was hard. It was honestly because I was still mad because I wanted, and after a long day with the kids, you just kind of like, it's nice when they come home because then you're like,
Yeah.
you can,
Especially when you have that like set time. Okay, I just have to make it to 5 o'clock. That's all I got to do. I got to make it to 5 o'clock. Then there's gonna be two more hands on deck. Things are gonna be okay. I can step away for 5 seconds, and then you get that dreaded phone call right before the end of the day or at the end of the day, being like, I'm going to be another 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
I know.
But really, they could have been having the crappiest day too, but we don't know that because we feel crappy. We've had a stressful day, and we're just like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. Why are you punishing me?
Yeah.
And then we get passive aggressive.
Yeah. But then it's just being mean. So anyways, I was really in my head about it. And it took a lot of work, not gonna lie to you. Like it took me a good little while to keep reminding myself, like, Paulette, get over yourself. Your husband's having fun. Be happy for him and just let him have a good time.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite, right? Like if it was me, they always say happy wife, happy life. Well, happy husband, happy life too.
What rhymes with that? I don't
So
know.
when he did come home, I didn't, and I, like, honestly, he was probably expecting me to be all like giving him tood. But I didn't. I was like, "How was your night? Like, did you guys have fun?" His buddy ended up coming over and having a sleepover at our house, and it was really hilarious. And I embraced it, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are having a slumber party."
You're such a good wife. Cheers to that. Cheers to overcoming that, like,
Growing.
oh, growing. Let's cheers to growing. Yes, that's awesome.
But
But
then
serious. Go
the,
ahead.
the dynamic of the house was much different after that because he did say exactly that. Thanks for being such an awesome wife. And I was like, stop it.
But like, then how good did you feel? It was like, okay, why was I upset? He clearly needed this, and this is just going to make everything better. When really, if we stay mad in those situations, it could play through the entire week, if not longer, and then you still fall back on that same situation from 2 weeks ago. It's like, I'm still mad at you for this, when they finally say, okay, what's going on?
And
Because,
then,
of course, we never bring it up.
yeah, and you just resent each other, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my house used to be really clean when I would get like that.
Oh, I do that too. I clean when I'm mad. Like,
Oh.
when I'm washing bathrooms or like.
The cupboard starts slamming. Like, oh my gosh, this happened the other day. I can't even tell you. I don't even know what Kent and I were at each other's throats for. Shouldn't even say we were at each other's throats. We were both just like grumpy at each other, and we didn't know why, and neither of us were willing to talk to each other. And I was in the kitchen, and I was just like, he's leaving to work tomorrow. And I was just like so mad. Neither of us were feeling good. Caleb had just gotten over the flu, and it was just like, I'm in the kitchen, I'm slamming the microwave, I'm closing the dishwasher loud, I was slamming the car. I didn't even realize that I was doing this, but I was doing that passive aggressive, like, annoyance thing. And he walked out and he was like, what's going on? And it wouldn't even make eye contact. Like, it was like both of us. And he was doing the same thing. He was like, right? And it was just like, you just kind of feed off each other. And then the next day we sat down, we had an amazing conversation, and we both started laughing because he was mad at me about a booster juice thing, and I brought home frozen fruit to make a smoothie instead of buying booster juice. Like, I can't even, and honestly, I don't even know what I was upset about, but that was all he wanted. And he was like, why couldn't you just do that? And it was like, you're right, I could have just done that. But like, we just look at those silly little things that mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because then he was like, these are the best smoothies I've ever had, and he made them for 3 days straight. But was still holding on to the fact that, like, it's just so funny, right? And it doesn't even, it means nothing, but you can get in such huge fights about these things. But all it took to get over that was for one of us to start the conversation, and neither of us were actually mad. It was just like both of us were just being passive aggressive to each other, not making eye contact, kind of brushing each other off when we'd see each other. And it happened for a few days, and then you just kind of, and then once you get that conversation, it's just like, why did this affect me so much?
Ah. And that's just it, right? Not holding on to it, because when you hold on to it just festers, and that's just no good for anybody.
Totally.
We've all done it.
Oh, I'm really good at it.
Communicate.
Takes practice. It's not something that you're just good at. I don't think anyone's just, maybe if you're just good at it, like, kudos to you, cheers to you, because that's a serious skill.
Right?
because we can talk about these things, but like it might sound like we're kind of good at it. We've gotten a lot better at it. This
Yeah.
is not easy. You have to work at it, and you have to recognize that we're feeling that way, because like if you don't, it's just gonna keep doing the nasty little cycle, and then it's just like
Yeah. It's like the feeling guilty thing. You have to be in your mind and realize that this is not like, if you make the decision to do it and live in the now about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Enjoy the time that you have, because essentially you asked for it.
exactly,
Don't waste your time feeling guilty.
exactly.
Yeah. So this happened to me a little while ago, like a few weeks ago. My husband went to his place, and he took the kids with him. And I was gonna go, because I love going out there, but I had so much stuff to do, and I felt so overwhelmed that I said, like, would you mind if I, like, how disappointed would you be if I said I wanted to stay home? And he was like, whatever. You want to stay, like, we want you to come, but if you want to stay home, whatever, do what you need. And so I said yeah, and I stayed, and it was the best decision ever. I got so much stuff done and felt great. Like, it was just, I was on fire for like a whole weekend, and I didn't tell a soul that I was home by myself, because you know how that happens. Then girlfriends find out that you're by yourself, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go out, let's
Coffee
go."
day, wine, let's drink, movies.
So I didn't tell anybody, and I just stayed home, and I got so much stuff done. And by the time they came home on that like Sunday afternoon, or Sunday night or whatever, I was just like, I was so happy for them to be home, and it was like magic for everything.
I don't think
Like,
you
yeah,
guys even understand this. Like Paulette called me and was like, "I'm having the best weekend ever, and I feel so guilty because I'm by myself." And I was like, "That's amazing! Like
I know,
it's so good."
but
And
I
it
felt
kind of, yeah, like, oh my gosh.
it's terrible.
It's so funny though that, because just I think it's just ingrained in us as mom, as women, as like partners, everything, that you just feel so guilty that we're having so much fun without like the other people around us,
Yeah.
right? Like it's, oh man.
I wonder what they're doing, or I wonder if they think that I don't want to be hanging out with them. Well, sometimes I don't.
And then you have that like little thought, and then like 6 hours later, you're like, oh, I haven't thought about them in a couple of hours. Why didn't I think about them? I feel so guilty. I haven't thought about, like, we just like beat ourselves up with all of these thoughts.
But holy hell, I was in a good mood when they came home. I was like, "Hey, what you guys do?" And they're like, "Have you been
What you
drinking?"
been
No,
drinking, Mama? Cheers.
Mama has wine.
All weekend long.
No, it was amazing. I very grateful for that weekend. It was magical, and I'm probably gonna do it in the future because I know what it gives me. Right? It just,
Absolutely.
and just like him, if he ever says that he wants to do that, like, give bullets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though inside, some.
And you know what? I just thought of this the other day. It was like a super selfish thing, but Kent is away working right now. And before he left, we were in a ball tournament, and Caleb was so sick. And we took him down there for the first day, and we were supposed to play 3 games, and we played two, and then it was like Caleb was so sick, we had to take him home. So one of us had to miss the game. Both of us were playing in this tournament, and we were like, "So who's gonna miss it?" Now I was the organizer of our team, right? And so initially I was like, yeah, you're going to take him home. Like, no big deal. You get to take him, and that's just it. And he was like, yeah, I'll take him home. Like, because he rocks the full-time dad thing. And so then I'm sitting in the truck, I'm getting my things, and he's kind of gathering all his stuff. He's saying bye to everyone. And I just like turned around. I'm like, what am I doing? We have extra girls on the team. Kent has to leave in 2 days. He's going to be gone for like a month. Like, why am I being selfish on this when, yes, I would absolutely love to stay and hang out with everyone, but like I think it's my turn for him to have all the fun. Like I get to go home, I'll do the mom thing tonight, no big deal. And so I stopped him and I said, okay, you know what? Like I think you need to have tonight. I don't need to do it as much as I want to. I think tonight is your night. You're the one that has to leave. I'm going to have a lot more free time than you. You're going to be stuck up north at work. And he just looked at me and his jaw kind of dropped. He's like, okay. No objections. There was nothing. He was like, yep. He's like, thank you.
Yeah, I bet you that meant a lot to him though, right?
Huge. He thanked me the next day. He even stayed home for a game in the morning with Caleb because Caleb was still not feeling well, and he stayed in the morning, but he got to go out. He ended up at the bar. They did a big fundraiser. He had so much fun. And I got back to the ball field in the morning and everyone was hungover and I was happy as a clam and I was so glad that I didn't feel like that. And I was just like, everyone was telling me stories and the old me like would have been super jealous of everything. And I was just like so happy that he got to enjoy all of that.
Yeah.
Right? It was just such a difference.
That's the thing, right? It's like the whole teamwork aspect. We have a joke in our family. We always talk about how with the kids, we always say team guard.
Oh.
We'll do like that. Team guard. But honestly, we like Jerry and I but we work at it a lot. And I think that's the key is that you have to always as much as we're talking like initially we're talking about making time for yourself and not like putting yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to recognize that in your partner and give them the same opportunity, right? Because
yes,
then it makes it a happy medium.
Equal. Yeah, it becomes an equal partnership.
Yeah.
Because everything that like we always talk about is like make sure you fill your cup first. That is like the best point ever is you have to make sure that your partner's filling their own cup too. And by letting them fill their cup, you're filling your cup.
Yeah.
So right? Like I hadn't felt that good in so long about missing something. Because I saw how happy he was.
Yeah.
Right? So it's an awesome thing when you switch your thinking on how you're supporting your partner.
Yeah. Totally.
Cheers.
Cheers to supporting your partner.
Yes. This is for all the dads and hubbies out there because you guys rock it.
Rocking it.
Rocking it.
Well, I feel like it kind of took
a turn. I know. Like, let's just support all the dads.
Talking about having alone time, and now we're talking about.
Well, it's still alone time.
Well, this is true.
Right? It's alone time away from your family, whether it's with other friends or whether it's burger and beer night or going for a run, whatever it is. Still, without your immediate people that surround you 24 hours a day.
Yeah, totally. It's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. It's very healthy.
You had a very nice plan of getting a post, like an article that or what we were talking about, but unfortunately,
that did not happen.
I have dropped the ball on that.
But not only did she drop the ball, I was the reminder about doing the post of the article that she located, and we both dropped the ball.
But you know what, guys? That's okay because this right here is real life. This is what happens.
Right?
Moms, seriously. Business owners, people who have stuff going on during their lives don't always have it all put together. And that is exactly right. And that's okay.
Yeah. Like I went flying out of I had no idea what the time was. And I was like, my mom and I have been canning salsa all day. Now, one of the burners on my stovetop, so I have like I have a wall oven and then what's the countertop like stove. What are those called? I don't even know. Anyways, the big burner doesn't work. So we're using all the little burners with this huge canner. And we're trying to bring this damn thing to a boil, and it's just not working. So it's taken all day. I had to go downtown today because I bought all the wrong size lids for my canning jars. And I went to 6 stores, and everywhere was sold out of what I needed. And the salsa was ready to go into the jars and ready to boil and seal the lids. And I could not find these lids. I was driving all over town. I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like calling all these stores. I'm like, I was everywhere. The last store I went to had them, and they were on sale. But it was like 2 hours later. So literally, my mom is like trying to put my son to bed right now, and she's canning salsa because she's still putting the lids on. We've been doing it all day, and finally we were able to do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get ready. I'm throwing my hair up, like just like crazy mom life stuff. And it's just like, but it's just what it is. I was like, normally I would like get my hair done, make myself like whatever. I don't even care because I get to sit here, have an awesome conversation, and it's just life. Like,
Cheers to real life.
right? And I have this happening. Super fun stuff there. I've had surgery the last few, like a few days ago, and super minor, nothing like serious, just off work until stitches come out, and it's just like I have my fingers taped together, so I'm like my mom has to like do everything. I can't even give my son a bath. Hence why she's here. But
cheers.
Moms, they are amazing. Yes, love her. I'm playing catch up with her because I was driving around town. So she's like, well, what am I going to do while I'm waiting? My son was in the day home, so I come home. She's having a nice glass of wine, and I was like, what are you doing?
Time with your mom is good. That's or good friends. In fact, my girlfriend Tina is on with us right now, who I love. I love to peanuts, and she said, how about supper with a friend for alone time?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
100%.
You know when you have those friends who you can just like talk life with, and they're just so wise, and Tina is that person for me, and I just love her to peanuts. And yes, I'm taking you up on that, Tina. 100%.
There you go. That's like the best offer.
Yeah, all of you out there who have those people that you just fill your cup, surround yourself with those people, and take the time to make time for yourself and them, and you will feel a huge difference.
And even just jump on the phone with someone. If your best friend lives miles and miles away, just jump on the phone and talk for 2 hours because you've slotted in that time, and finally you're like, yes, I get to talk to them.
Yeah.
It'll fill your cup right up.
Fill your cup right up.
Right up.
You're filling your cup right up.
I'm almost empty.
I don't care. I'm
going to watch some Outlander after this. If the salsa's done.
Shit's gonna get real.
Yep. I can hear. Mm-hmm.
Carrie's on. And Janine is on. This is so much fun, you guys.
Oh, you ladies. They are two of our biggest supporters.
They are. They're the best.
Love you, ladies.
Yeah. They both started reading Magic, and I love it a little.
It's so good. So good. Oh, my brother's phoning me. I better not answer him on a line live.
I think we kind of got it all what we wanted to say out. What do you think?
Yeah.
Bex?
I want to know because we got a few people on here right now. What are your typical? This is a question that I've been curious about. Typical behaviors, if they're the same as Paulette and I, like super cool, like whatever, because we're all just like people. Passive aggressive behaviors when you get mad. Do you even do it? Right? Is it even something that is like that you even put out there? Because I don't know. I feel like most of us do it. And if we can't admit it.
Yeah, like how do you guys deal in that situation?
Yeah.
I'm totally the passive aggressive person, and I've really tried to work on that, but you know, some people just like explode and like really say it out loud, but I need to it's like I want people to ask me why I'm mad, but then as soon as they do, I just give them the silent treatment. It's actually, I really need to work on that.
The avoidance of eye contact. It's like,
I apologize, Jerry. It's not.
Just like,
it's just how I am. But he knows.
Yes. I was going to say, I am so sorry, Kent, for the way that I act. But he knows. It's been 10 years. He's figured it out.
Appreciate you.
At least they know, right? They can see past those things. And sometimes I feel like people get in big fights and then they just start like despising their spouses and all of those things because they can't open up that conversation. Sometimes it's the simplest thing.
Mickey says, "Oh yeah, girl, I've been sleeping all over the house." You know what though? I think it also has to do with how you grew up, right? Like
Yeah.
my parents never ever fought. Like I never saw them fight. And so I don't know. Like I don't know where I got it from. I guess just not voicing my opinion maybe. But then I've had friends like who were like their parents were super vocal and you would hear them and I'd just be like, "Oh my god." You know what I mean? I don't know. Everybody's kind of got their own.
Totally. But sometimes too, maybe if like you weren't around it, then instantly you do something that's different because, well, maybe this is the right way because I never saw this. Right? We always try and do something that's different than what our parents did. So it's like, well, if they acted like this, I can't.
Kent says energy stealer. Yeah, let's talk about that, Kent. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we'll bring him on to talk about that. He knows all about this whole energy stealing
Bex
thing.
and I really want to bring our husbands on for a while today to talk about certain topics. I feel like Kent would be 100% on board, but my
Yeah.
husband really need to work on. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna work on him.
Yeah. Would you guys like to see our hubbies on here?
Give us a love. Give us a love if you would love to see our husbands on.
Drop a yes because we will totally make these boys get on here and talk relationship stuff and
Yeah.
life stuff and goodies.
Tina says, my husband is passive aggressive for both of us. I'm exploded and done. Uh, I feel like I'm a little bit of both. Like
Mm.
I just like Jerry shoves under the rug. I'm not I'm not one of those people.
Mm.
What's happening?
Sorry. I think my mother lost her phone. She's looking. She can't find it. I keep hearing it ringing.
Gotcha.
There's a
Gotcha.
little chaos going on in the background right
No problemo.
now. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've got all of our
I think we've hit all of our little points.
I
And
feel yeah.
yeah,
Hope that was of value to you guys. And
or just made you feel a little bit more human.
yeah,
That
because
like you're totally normal feeling like this.
absolutely 100%.
The other thing is don't beat yourself up when you act like this
Yeah.
because that just makes it all worse. Because then you're just beating yourself up, and then you're gonna be passive aggressive to yourself. It's just a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Once you figure out that you're doing it, let it go.
Just try to be mindful. This
Yes.
is the thing. Like I said, that Friday night last weekend when I was having my issues in my own brain about Jerry being out, I really was in my head. Like I was consciously, and it was hard as shit. But I was consciously being like, "Okay, stop being mad. You're being selfish. Just get over it and move
But
on."
the best thing you did was reach out to somebody that you knew would tell you the truth about how you're feeling instead of feed in to maybe like what you were feeling and saying like, yeah, I totally get why you're like, yeah, you should be feeling like that and you should have come home. And because there are people that will feed into exactly what you're saying because they think that's what you want, they like you want to hear. But when you reach out to someone that you know is gonna be like, okay, well, like, let's figure this out actually, because are you being selfish? How are you acting right now in the moment? Like, do they need this? Like, what's gonna be beneficial for both of you out of this? And right, like you reach out to someone that you know is gonna be
Yeah.
give it to you the way, like with love.
Yes.
Right?
Feedback.
Feedback.
Back.
It's not good, bad, right or wrong. It's
Nope.
just feedback.
Feedback
Totally
is
neutral.
yeah,
We'll
exactly.
talk about that one of these days. That's a great thing to talk
That's a
about.
whole different topic.
That could be for hours.
Yeah, well, I would like to propose the last cheers to us and growth.
Growth. Love it.
Cheers
Cheers to all the moms, ladies, and everyone out there.
mm-hmm. Thanks for everybody for popping on with us, having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, and yeah, we love it when you guys come out and hang out with us and talk about shit. So
And love the interaction tonight. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.
All right. We will be back. I believe we are aiming for next week.
Yes.
I'm hoping not to have any internet issues. I will be over on the island. I will be traveling on the weekends. So last time I was over there, I had a few minor internet connection issues, but hopefully we'll get all those things figured out, and we will be back next Tuesday, same time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, you guys.
Love to you all.
Thank you for tuning in with us. Where's our exit music, Bex? Come on. Shit.
Drop the ball.
It's a coming. Just bebop.
Baby. Oh no.
Okay. Take care,
Here we go.
everyone.
I got it.